Alright guys, I got the house to myself for a little while, and a little too hot to get outside, so I figured I would make a little alcohol stove. I've made a bunch of these over the years, and this is probably my favorite design. There's several that have a small hole in the center. You can put a penny over it to prime it, but this right here just, I don't know, it's so simple. It's easy to make. I can make this most anywhere if I remember how to make them right. And you can go online. I think it's Zen stoves. They've got like PDFs you can download that actually have templates that you can stick to your can and cut it out perfectly and get it just right the first time. But let's see how this goes. Hopefully I can get it right the first time. So let's make a stove. All right, so in order to make this, we're going to need 2 12-ounce cans, some way to mark. I'd go with a permanent marker. It's a dry erase, so I gotta be careful not to wipe it off. Something to cut with, preferably fairly strong. Let's see. I will most likely use that for a good bit of cutting. And a way to poke holes for a burner. This may be a little small. It would do in a pinch. If you have a sewing kit with you in your kit, I'm pretty sure you don't have a thumbtack, but for the sake of this video, it's just easier on my fingers. So let's get started. First thing I like to do is put a napkin. I think there's probably still some beer in here. On one of these, this will be really a top section. This piece right here, as you can see, it slides down into the bottom of another can, and this inside part has been cut out. So since I've still got the strength of the can here, I don't know what that just did to the camera. Okay, let's see. These are strong. Just not gonna be able to get the right angle on them. Nope. All right, well, this is gonna work good enough for me. For the video anyway. All right, so for this portion, from what I remember anyway, it's about the thickness of the top part of my index finger on the bottom of the can, so I'm just going to mark that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to mark just a little bit, maybe an 1/8 inch. I don't know, what would you call that? Like I said, you can get those templates and they'll show you exactly where to put these numbers, these lines. But for me, this is hopefully going to work out. If you can get everything perfect, it's going to give you a better fitting stove in the long run, and probably a more efficient stove. But this is something you can do if you have any alcohol with you. The heat, gas line additive, just at hardware stores or at the automotive stores. Works really well, and that's probably what I would suggest in a survival situation or a bushcraft situation. I use Everclear. It's works well. It burns nice and clean, pretty clean, and it would be safe to use as an antiseptic as opposed to the gas line treatment or anything. And if you're up for it, I guess you could drink it. If you're into that kind of thing. I guess if you put a capful or two in, make a decent drink. Probably taste nasty. So I'm going about a quarter inch, maybe half inch. Just trying to stay fairly even. Just to see what happens. All right. Looking from the inside, everything seems pretty good, fairly even. All right. So now it's time to cut this thing, and I think what I'm going to do, while I've got this here, I'm going to put this other one up here, and it's going to be a good bit shorter because it's going to come in. This will go on the inside of it, and I want it to come up, about to the edge, right up to the burners. So I think I can wait till I'm cut out. I'll go with the scissors on this. Okay. Yeah. Not the best in the world. Should work okay though. All right. Okay, so this is going to be the top part. And now we need to cut the bottom. And from my memory, it's about where the holes are for the burner. Should be about the right height. May have to go around and adjust these cuts later. Okay, so this piece here, I definitely will burnish this out as well as possible because it's going over on the outside of the top piece. So I kind of want to stretch it out a little bit if that's possible here. think that'll work. Okay. So now we got to mark out the inside, or cut out the inside. Okay, let's see if I can just do this by eye. All right. Yeah, much better. Alright, so we'll try this again. Halfway. And halfway. And we'll make this a little bit shorter. And I think I'm going to roll it the opposite way. We'll just keep it this way. All right. That's a good fit. Not to forget. And I think while I'm at it, make this a little bit shorter. So let's see if we can. All right. There we go. That's pretty much it. As you can see, this piece I cut out is forms like an inner wall in there. I probably should have, since I'm not using the template, since I was eyeballing it, I really should have put this together, and then I could have gone in and poked my my holes. That would have let this be up a little more, It's I don't think it'd take much for this to come apart. But so let's test this thing out. All right, so here we are. I've darkened it down so you'll be able to see the flame a little better. We've got our grain alcohol. I've put a cap full in already. There's another one. And we'll see what we can do here. So really you just light it in the middle. It'll flame up a little bit, and then as the alcohol starts to boil, gets to the boiling point, the steam will come out of these little holes on the side and will ignite, and then it'll look like your standard gas burner, and it really starts pumping out heat at that point. So, assuming you can see the flame, let it build up a little heat. Hear it start to sizzle. And there we go. So now, put your cup on top. Now, assuming you've got a good flat level surface, this is your pot stand. I wouldn't put anything too big on it, but I have put frying pans, big tea kettles. Like I said, we live here in the southeast U.S. and have about a hurricane a year, and we'll lose power for a day. And so this is how we get our coffee, and cook a little food on it. But it looks like it's doing pretty good. This one's old, so it's starting to leak, and they're not necessarily coming out of the holes. It's just coming out around that seam. Like I said, this thing's been used quite a number of times, thrown around in packs. I mean, it's just a tin can, but it's pretty sturdy for what it is, and you can see it wraps up along the side of the pot, so it's bringing some pretty good heat. And you can hear it. It's already getting it there. So this is a nice little cook stove. Say just for bringing up a little bit of water to boil. It's fairly clean burning. See, there's not a lot of soot on the side. It will get soot on it though, just because of the alcohol I'm using. If you were to use the heat, it's a little bit cleaner. But there again, like I said, this is a good antiseptic, and you can use it for other things. So I hope you can see this okay. But this would be my contribution to a camp kitchen, especially around here where it's in the evening right now, and it's still in the 80s outside. It's after dark. Probably won't dip below 80. So there's not a lot of fire building going on. Now there you go. That was 2. Ooh. That almost came up to a little simmer. And I don't even know how long that was, but it was pretty quick. And you can put a good bit more. Usually for bringing a pot of water to boil, I don't know how many ounces it is, but the little 5-hour energy drink bottles, I'll usually transfer this into those for camping, so I don't have to carry this big bottle. And just dump one of those in there. I guess I don't know how much it is. But anyway, that'll fill it up a good way, and it'll go for 8 to 10 minutes, maybe. But it'll definitely bring a larger pot to boil. if you use one of those 5-hour energy drink bottles. So I hope this helped. I hope you got something out of it. And I'll wrap this up here. All right, so this is the little stoves. I hope you enjoyed seeing how to put them together. It's really fairly simple. Like I say, this one had a pretty bad crimp in it right there, and all the alcohol steam started coming out here, so I had one big burner on the side instead of coming out all the little holes. But this one, that actually, I just printed this out. These are the plans that you can go download. It's zenstove.net, and they've got a bunch of different varieties. You can use a V8 can or little smaller can, little 8-ounce cans too. That'll make a really tiny one. The advantage is super lightweight. I used 2 capfuls of grain alcohol, and it went for about 3 minutes. Depending on how cold it is, that could bring, a small cup to a boil. But it's a really good flame, and usually licks up the whole side of the cup. So it'll boil pretty quick. You can, like I say, carry this stuff. It's good to sterilize things. It's an antiseptic. If you got a rock gut, I suppose you could drink it. Just mix it. And one other thing, when you're putting these together, you can cut a little shim just out of a piece of can, and it can help you kind of get in between there and force the top part inside, and still not all in there. But that is about it, and hope you can make one of these. It's nice to have. Like I say, you can have just a few of them around because they really weigh nothing and work really well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time.